Hey folks, Quillopolis here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play City Skylines. We just developed this new little neighborhood over here. We're waiting to see what happens when people move in. I'm a little worried that this is going to be a bit short and might actually lead to some backups. And we might want to actually end up with a bit of a longer on-ramp. But overall, I'm okay. The off-ramps can be really short because there's no pause, there's no delay. But here, they're going to have to wait for a light, and from time to time, that might really cause an issue. So I actually suspect we'll want to start the off-ramp over here and do that, and maybe even turn it into a 3-lane. Now, if I turn it into a 3-lane, I'm not sure we'll have room for this. Yeah, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about here. I don't think there's actually going to be heavy traffic here, but they're really not going to be able to get work done like that. So let's give them a little bit more room. Yeah, to make this turn. Just like intentional S-turns here. S-turns slow down the actual speed of cars, but they're effectively going to make this whole thing longer. And we're not really using most of the space anyway. Like, I could have started over here and then eaten all that, but this way, we get a slightly longer road without really using that much more space. It looks a little silly, but it's actually going to be very functional. I've never done that before, and I think I'm going to start doing it quite a bit more often. Let's drop some trees in, because trees are pretty. And the tree brush is free, so we may as well. Some of those will get replaced as buildings come in. That's all right. And yeah, the 3-lane here is probably going to be a lot better too, because it will help divide up the traffic. We might still get a bit of a backflow here, but especially if there's no industry here, the amount of traffic will always be relatively manageable. Especially once we get in some public transit, which I suppose we should probably... We're still doing the no subway thing, apparently. But I should definitely get some buses up and running in here. So we'll just get one sort of loop there. And then we'll get a second one that just services this end over here. And then connects up to this part of the grid, maybe in a couple places, before coming back down here and finishing the loop. And then finally, we want to be able to connect to the rest of the system. Create a new line from there, connect it up over here, connect it up over there, and then come back and complete the line. And we'll do another one that maybe starts from here and runs out to... What? Oh, did I not actually start the new line? Create new line. There we go. Bus stops here might actually be a little bit bad, simply because that's the high traffic zone, and buses do tend to slow down traffic right where they are. But, I don't know, we'll do it. And we're going to add a stop there, and then we're going to come all the way back here. Bit of a long distance run, but there we go. Now it's part of the grid. Wow, that traffic backup, though. And it's actually affecting some of the cars over here that may not even want to go this way. Why are there so many cars trying to come in? I could improve things if I did something. I mean, this is going to look just a little silly right now. But if we went and one-wayed these, like that, that actually gets rid of the traffic lights here and make sure vehicles can come in pretty quickly. I guess most of these guys really did just want to go straight. I can't one-way too many things. Ah! Wow. There's a lot of backflow. Look at, like, there's so many buses coming in here, although they're probably mostly empty right now. Oh, wait. They are still getting a stop. Why is that? I guess this car's coming from here, and then they sort of... Then they're in the intersection, so other things have to wait for a second. I guess that's fair. But no, okay, that whole backlog has gone away. Good. Whew. Because that was going to cause some major problems for the city. We are now completely fine. Meanwhile, over here, this backlog is shorter than it used to be. It's still not great, but it is shorter than it used to be. Wow, this actually backlogs all the way to here. I'm going to say, oh, if we didn't have this corner, it would go faster, but... I could do something like no left turns over here. Actually, that might be a really good idea. If I grab this segment, enable lane control, and toggle off the left turns over there. It's not updating the symbol. It's kind of weird. I don't know why that's green over there. I mean, oh, no, it did update it. Okay, just took a little while. Actually, it's all weird because why can't they make a... There's no symbol for right turn over here. So they shouldn't be able to make a left. At least they won't be able to once everyone has processed things. I don't know if that will help make things faster, though. What would improve things is if there wasn't a traffic sign, a traffic light here. Which means I could do the same thing I just did at the other place. Okay, let me go. Do this. Disable lane control. I will do the same thing I did at the other place, which is... Oh yeah, I can't one-way these things. Silly me. I can one-way this bit, though. Which might, in fact, be an excellent idea. There's still some cross-traffic here, but now there won't be people coming here looking to make a corner anymore. Which I think will mean that we'll get a green light over here quite a bit more frequently. That was a short light. As I say that... Yeah, we might have to 6-lane this whole thing and just discourage people from being able to do that. Well, if I do that, it'll really become impossible to get some of these things. Come on. Is there a traffic light here? Is this a one-way road? It is, though, right? Why would there be a traffic light here? Actually, I'm really confused about that. The one-way coming off? The one-way this way? And why is it red so often? Actually, this really doesn't make any sense. This should be green almost all the time. Alright, now it is. Huh. Alright, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to bulldoze this connection here. Use a one-way. That doesn't quite connect. Like that. And then we're going to make sure that this is all updated to a two-way. Not a one-way, it's two-way. But it doesn't quite connect anymore. Getting rid of that intersection completely. Not that it makes much of a difference anymore, but it does mean we can one-way this whole bit instead of having a one-way and a two-way. Because what was happening, there was a lot of backup because people would only cross and get to here and then back up this whole thing. That won't be an issue anymore. Alright, I think this will do wonders to the traffic here. There's still going to be a light here from time to time, but people will be able to flow through a lot more. Wow, yeah, this backlog really started to accrue again. But this one is totally fine, which is good. Okay, excellent. Yay! Let's play Traffic Simulator, which is what all good city building games are. They're about, making sure that people can get places in a reasonable amount of time. Just like real civil design. So I'm going to continue to build down here, although I'm tempted to keep this like ridge of forest over here. Which I could do if I just sort of do kind of one of those. Keep going sort of like wobbly like that. Wobbly roads. Do I want to have another 6-lane in here? Sure. Space already occupied. Oh, there's like hospitals and schools and stuff there, right? Yeah. There we go. And we'll get some connections in a second here. Might be better if those were not straight, but yeah. I'll leave that spot in the middle. Okay. A bit odd. I don't know. It's fine. Let's do it. Most demands are dropping, which is, of course, natural. That will happen as we zone more things and until more people move in to replace that. Do a little bit of that. Now clean up. Actually, we'll fill these gaps in with some office. Again, just that little bit of a barrier between residential and heavy commercial. Like so. Okay, they've got some supplies over here. We probably want to put in a few more parks. Let's get in a public soccer field. So right there would be nice. And then some plazas. Oh yeah, we've got a Japanese garden as well. Put in some of that. Some plazas of prettiness. Maybe the sunken one. Over there and there. And another one there. And we need enough here to send these guys over to the edge to the next level. Okay. So again, we don't have a ton of demand right now, so some of these will populate a little bit more slowly, although they are popping in already, which is a good sign. Population's rising relatively quickly, actually. 500 people per tick. That is huge. The industrial demand is probably going to shoot up pretty quickly because there's a lot of new people coming. They're going to be looking for jobs. And job is mostly industry or offices, basically the same thing. Power will connect up here soon. They will mostly have services. I think we're going to be okay. We might want some extra buses here soon. Seriously. How on earth is there such a backlog over here? There's no traffic here. This corner might really be starting to be the problem. Or, you know, could still be these lights here. No, the backlog's not reaching. Okay. Let's get rid of that sharp bend. Like that. There's still a bit of a bend here, of course. But this is far less bad than what was going on before. Alright, it's filling up well now. Things are coming into a bit of a stop, and then they start going again. I find it really hard to believe that this is insufficient to service the traffic going in here. Because it doesn't look like there's that much cars. Now, it is a big neighborhood, and I guess, you know, there might be a lot of people coming from down here that want to get all over the place. Well, they can mostly go over here, too. Right, because from here, they could go in the other direction and go there and basically find their way in. I'm stunned that there's so much traffic over here. Alright, well, I mean, it might just be time for subways. But we have 57,000 people. Why should we need that? And we've got a good number of buses. Take the bus, everyone. If I was making more money, I could say free transit. Alright, let's go and build. Let's go and build our subways. But I'm not going to go crazy with them. I'm not going to have, like, every single city block serviced by the subway. Because I still want to have a bit of a smaller town feel. Although, you know, certainly this feels relatively significant over here. Put one in the middle of Smoky Town. Over here. Over there. And that'll be hopefully good enough. Did I build one over here? No one there. Alright, let's give that a bit of a go. Some very simple lines. They can use buses to get to the subways if they want. Actually, being as long as it is, let's just make that a simple line that way. Doesn't necessarily need a bunch of different stops. Same thing there. So we can stop there, and then back. One of our more complicated lines in the city by having the trio. And another trio over here. And, just for the sake of completeness, we'll have one going this way. Alright, we'll just have to see if that has any appreciable difference on traffic. It may. Oh, hey. What happened to all the traffic here? I mean, it's not the subway. It didn't take effect that quickly. I guess whatever bottleneck had been going must have been resolved by this change at this point. We just had to wait a little bit longer. Or this change here. That might have made all the difference in the world. Huh. Let's take a look at our death screen. Make sure our dead bodies are being picked up. Yeah, we're down to only 100 dead now, which is good. And sick is also pretty decent. Yeah, because we've eliminated a lot of our traffic problems. Now the backlog is over here. But, you know, that happens. We could offer these guys another way to get into this neighborhood over this way. Which I'm going to do for now. What? There we go. It was a little odd. There we go. It's not offering another output. But since these two areas are actually not connected very easily, except through here, that will actually farm off, I think, a lot of traffic from this area. Or, well, this is a different on-ramp system anyway. It's curious that the offs aren't as badly congested, but I guess it's because once you're on there, you're on a highway and then you're fine. But yeah, if we can just divert a little bit of traffic out of here, that would be okay. I'd even prefer it almost if it went, like, even further in, just to discourage anyone going here from using that, although it's not bad. I think this will help. We'll have to wait a little bit to see real evidence of that, but I think it will be helpful. Meanwhile, this is starting to get a little bit crazy sauce. So let's go ahead and give them an upgrade too. This is still going to be like that just because of the space constraints. But what's important is they can spread out and then use more lanes over here and generally do a better job of getting into the city. So yeah, there's not going to be much flow, but even taking away like just 5 or 10% of the vehicles, even 5%, you're going to see a big difference because it's not just a question of there's 5% less cars, is that there's a lot fewer sort of mess ups with the intersection. So by reducing traffic by 5%, you actually can unclog an entire jam. We've certainly seen that in the past. And I think we'll continue to see that here. Now, if we did disconnect these intersections completely, that might help further. Let's try that. We'll lose some of these buildings, but that's all right. Now, there's no intersection here. Technically, they can use this left lane to turn around, and that might have been part of it too. Is they may not have been using all 3 of these lanes properly, just because the one lane is used for a turnaround. Also, why are you stopped completely? There's no traffic light. Oh, you're waiting for that to clear up a little bit. I guess there is a lot of that going on, isn't there? I'm worried that might create too much traffic there, but we'll see how it goes. Wow. Look how distorted this area is. There's still technically 3 lanes there, but they get super skinny. Wow, that is so much traffic that I wasn't really prepared for. If I moved this could sort of be a one-way all the way in or something. I don't know. I think we'll leave it there for now. Traffic here is backing up too. It's just a big neighborhood. I think there tends to be more right when you zone something as well, because all the all the commercial things get their first round of deliveries, and I think that tends to make a big early backup. Here we're fine now. That is amazing, this little corner thing here. I don't know what's going on with it, but, you know, whatever. Man. Yeah, tons of people who are coming in. Everyone's in the right-hand lane here. Oh, and okay, they're actually all adding congestion over here. Hold on. That might make a big difference. If I do something like this, I bet you that will help out a lot. Because everything is getting jammed up right here to a certain extent. This, I think, will actually help tremendously, because there'll be fewer cars that have to go all the way here to make a right turn, which is then slowing down all these intersections. Actually, this is already cleared up here-ish. This will clear up dramatically now that we've got this. I'm 100% sure of it. We'll have to wait because there's a lot of cars that still have the old pathing, but once they get resolved, like once they get wherever they're going, all the new cars should start to make use of this little corner here, and it should make a pretty big difference. I don't like that they're making it right here, but they still would have been getting somewhere. So these long blocks like this can be good, but they can also be bad. Actually, here's another example of a place where I can probably improve traffic flow. Because right now, this little block, everything has to go through here, which is where our main source of traffic is anyway. So if we do this, we'll do that, both for this block itself, but anyone trying to leave can make the right turn here instead of having to go here and make the right turn. So that's it. These long blocks are good, except for, I think, the fact that I ended up having a lot of them have dead ends. So it was still focusing everything in just these 2 intersections. So hopefully that'll be improved. In fact, let me go and trim this back a little bit and make sure, too many intersections are bad. Too few, also bad. If I do that, I think that's also going to be a really good idea. Oh, yeah, see, look at this. This is fine. This is fine. Everything is fine now. We probably didn't even need to build this, but I may as well leave it in here. Doesn't really hurt anything right now. We might want to use that area for something later on. We're good here. I mean, I'm sure the subways are making a difference. Don't get me wrong. But I think it's mostly road changes. 1,000 citizens per week. It's a good number. We don't even have that many subways yet. The other nice thing about subways is they do make you money. Unless you've got the free public transit, you will make a lot of cash off your public transit. Not that we're hurting for cash, but it's always nice to have more cash flow. All right, well, there we go. Thank you very much for joining me in another episode of our Let's Play of City Skylines as we try to fill up this little area. Can't remember. How many tiles do we have? We haven't even bought. We only have 6 tiles here that we're working with. So there's a lot of room to grow in this city. And it'll be interesting to see where it goes in the future. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.